Hello. All right. So today I'm going to attempt to do some jewelry. I had been out for a walk a few weeks ago and I found this giant branch and I just said, I wonder if I can try to make some beads out of it. So I drilled a hole, um, not exactly centered, but it's close enough, hopefully. And I have put it on the lathe now. It's got a hole going all the way through. We'll see how strong it stays. It may lose some stability because of the hole inside, so we'll find out. But let's give it a try, see if we can do a few beads. The tool I'll be using to do the beads is called the skew. The skew is by far my most hated tool. And a lot of wood turners do not like a skew. It's a really difficult tool to master, in my opinion. I don't know if everybody feels that way, but I know for me, I feel like it's the hardest one. It's a very sharp tool, and basically what you're doing is kind of scraping off layers. The only way to get a very tiny object, though, is to use a skew. So anyway, if nothing else, this will give me some practice with it and see if I can master this thing. First, we got to get it to round, though. So let me put my equipment on. I'll be right back. All right, I got my tool rest all set, ready to go. Tighten this up a little. Let's see how that looks. All right, a little tiny bit here, but we're almost there. At least we're almost around. Now, I was hoping to get these beads to be just about 12 millimeters. So this caliber is set for 12 millimeters. And I am just right about perfect. Perfect. Yay. Alrighty. Now, I have to measure so that I can see where I want my beads to be. All right, so I am going to start with 1/2 inch marks. Here, here, here. All right, all right, let's just see. All right, now, time for the skew. So I'm just making a line, a cut, where the pencil marks were. Let's see, let's do so that I see where the high point is. There's the middle, the middle, middle. Okay, so those are going to be where my curve is going to start. That has to be the highest spot and then come down. And I can't see them anymore. It's a good thing I'm blonde. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to start at that line. And I'm going to cut into that groove. Then I'll turn it over, start at that line, and cut down. All right, let's start at the next one, start at the line, and cut down. All right, turn it over. This line. Oh, I don't need to do that. Okay. These are looking pretty cute. All right, they're a little bit barrel shaped. I can deal. All right, believe it or not, I'm not going to go much further. Okay. Now, I'm leaving the polyurethane. I put it a little bit in the cup, and then I put it in a Ziploc bag because obviously it would dry out as fast as the stuff on the lathe dries out. But if I keep it in this, I can just keep using the same spot, same stuff over and over again, which is a big savings, but it's also a time saver because nobody wants to have to go and get the big gallon can open and spoon it out each time. Okay, today I'm gonna have a little fun. I'm gonna make some beads out of this, but what I wanna do is make them little rainbow beads for my granddaughter for a bracelet. So let's see. My granddaughter says her favorite color is rainbow. So, took me a few minutes to remember what the colors of the rainbow were and what order they were in. And I remembered the excellent children's uh, entertainment person, Mr. Ray, with Roy G. Bibb. And I said, I remember now. Oh, I like these. These are cute. Okay, I'm going to let them dry for a little bit. Okay, so I'm still making beads. I made some rainbow beads, and now I'm just doing some mahogany, or I'm sorry, maple beads. These come out really pretty. There you go. Now this will dry for a while. I'll go over it with the 600 grit, just like as if I was doing a bowl or something. I'll go over it with the 600 grit sandpaper, and then put another coat of urethane on it. And 2 or 3 times of doing that should be enough.